Good morning. So you've decided to sell your home, and now you're in the midst of contacting realtors to interview them for the job of listing your property. Today we're going to talk about 8 great different interview questions that you could ask these realtors in order to determine whether they're the right realtor for you. So let's get right to it. So the first question that I would be asking all candidates would be, are we in a seller's market, a balanced market, or are we in a buyer's market? So we have been moving more from a seller's market to a balanced market, but technically speaking, in the beginning of 2019 here, we're still in a bit of a seller's market. The next question I'd be asking is, how does your sale to list price ratio compare to the average realtor in the city? What that means is, if the average realtor is selling at 90% of list price, that means they have a 90% sale to list price ratio. If they're higher than 100%, it means that they're, on average, getting more than list price for their recent sales. So this is a great way of gauging what realtors are actually selling the properties for relative to what they've listed them for. The next question I'd be asking is, what's your average days on market for your most recent sales? Right now, the average home in Guelph is taking roughly 2 to 3 weeks to sell. So if the realtor that you're interviewing is taking 2 or 3 months to sell, now we've got some serious questions to ask that realtor. Are they overpricing their homes, or are they just not marketing their homes effectively? On the flip side, if they're only taking a week or 2 to sell, then maybe they're either doing a great job or maybe they're not pricing their homes high enough. So it's really finding a balance of what you're looking for, what your priorities are, and this is a great way to gauge how well and how effective that realtor is that you're interviewing. Another great question is, how will you and your brokerage help me prepare my home for sale? So I'm not talking about once it's on the market and once it's on realtor.ca out for the general public to see. I'm talking about the days, weeks, and even months leading up to the listing of your property. So does the realtor come in and provide you a checklist of upgrades that you should do before you get your property listed? Maybe you need some painting, maybe you need to minimize some items, or maybe you just need to touch up a couple of little areas. So little things like that. The days of getting a listing sign, putting the for sale sign on the lawn right away, and having it on realtor.ca the next day, those days should be over. So you want to gauge what that realtor is willing to do to help you get your home prepared for market. Another good one is, what services do you and your brokerage offer that differentiates you from the average realtor or brokerage in the city? So this is another really good question because it really gets down into the nuts and bolts of marketing your home. So do they provide a staging consultation? Do they provide staging, maybe artwork and decor? Do they provide professional photography or videography? And what websites are they going to market your property on? So all of these are really good things to know, and then you can compare between the different realtors that you've interviewed. Another really good one is, what happens if I'm unsatisfied with your efforts to market my home or to find buyers for my home? So this is a really important one too, because once you sign a listing agreement with your realtor, you're essentially bound to a contract with that realtor for a specified amount of time to sell your property. So what happens if it's just not going well? What happens if it's taking way too long to sell your home, or if you're just not happy with the marketing efforts that your realtor is putting forward? So this is really important to know what that realtor would do in that situation. In my case, what I do is I provide a customer satisfaction guarantee to all of my sellers. So if they're not happy with my services, I let them out of the agreement. They could go work with another realtor if they'd like. Now, fortunately, I've never had to exercise that agreement, and that's why I'm so confident in doing it. But when you're interviewing realtors, you really want to know what they're willing to offer and whether they're willing to do something for you if you're not satisfied with them. Okay, another great one is, can you give me a reference list of clients and can I contact those references? So hopefully the realtors that you're interviewing have some clients that they've worked with in the past that are willing to talk on their behalf. It's a really great way of getting to know who that realtor is and what they actually provide once they have your listing agreement. And then finally, one of the most important questions that I'd be asking is, how do you market your listings to agents and buyers outside of my city? So in Guelph here, there's a number of different real estate boards that share each other's listings so they could be seen in various cities. So Burlington, Mississauga, Oakville, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, they can all see our listings in Guelph. But what you may not know is that all of the Toronto agents cannot see our listings unless it's listed on their real estate board. So it's so important that if you want to market to outside buyers and outside agents outside of Guelph, it's absolutely imperative that it goes on the Toronto Real Estate Board. And that's why I'm just one of a few agents in the city that has full membership with the Brampton Real Estate Board. What that allows me to do is list my listings both on the Guelph Real Estate Board and the Brampton Real Estate Board, and Brampton filters it all the way out to all the different markets within the GTA. Toronto, Scarborough, North York, Thornhill, you name it, it's out there, and your listing is seen. And that's why a lot of my listings are sold to out-of-town buyers and out-of-town agents. So you want to be asking the question to the realtors that you're interviewing. One, are you part of other real estate boards? And two, will agents in Toronto in those areas see my listing without having to go on the public website? And that's the key part, because not all realtors are out there on realtor.ca. We've got more powerful tools and information on our own systems. So that's where we're looking for properties. So you want to make sure those out-of-town agents are seeing your listing. Hopefully you found this video useful, and useful when you're interviewing the realtors for the sale of your property. If you liked the video, please subscribe below. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more great content for both buyers and sellers. And of course, if you're looking to list and sell your property in the near future, I would be happy to interview for the job. Thanks a lot and have a great day.